Hey friends. Well, I had quite a day today. Day off from the show. And sort of it's my first day off from the show since really starting to do the show. Because, of course, I was off for the previous, I don't even remember, 8 or 9 or 10 days, whatever it was, from the time that I got sick and was out to the time that all the shows were canceled, all the way through to the following weekend. So there was this kind of, this is my first experience of having really kind of carried the weight of the show, which is maybe not the right way to put it. It doesn't really feel like that, but I've been in the flow, and now I have a break, and it meant that I came back to a lot of my teaching work. I saw 3 of my students today, which was super inspiring, super fun to just reconnect with that work. And something that I mentioned this yesterday, it's where my mind is going, and what I feel like I am receiving is an impulse to really look at my next steps and calibrate according to what my intention does to my energy level. In other words, like what intentions and what actions give me that sense of just total alignment, where I bounce out of bed in the morning, I have endless energy, and I know what that feels like. I know what that feels like. I know that feeling. And it's just night and day as compared to not that feeling. There's no, it can hardly be overstated how big the gap is. It's almost like different lives. It's almost like living 2 different lives. The difference between feeling like I'm in the pocket, knowing that I'm in the pocket, knowing that I'm on track, really just having a total conviction every minute of the day, or at least for good portions of the day, that I'm right up, that I'm heading like an arrow towards the target of my purpose, my deeper purpose. Or versus not feeling that and kind of expending energy doing really interesting work, and even things that in a lot of ways evolve me, but that aren't really on target. And so one of the experiences I'm having with the show kind of settling into a rhythm, and with my headspace opening back up, is I'm looking beyond it. I'm looking to the next couple weeks when I will actually, my time here will finish, and I'll be into the next chapter of my life. And what intentions do I really want to allow to drive me into that next phase? It's really easy to come off a show and kind of have a lull, because something like a show or a creative project that has a deadline and a kind of compressed time frame, like what I'm doing, it's so easy to invest my focus in it, and it's so easy to let the energy of that sweep me along. But I'm sort of already noticing, wait a minute, where is that buoyancy that I know I receive when I'm really deeply in alignment? How can I tap into that and really make the next chapter of my life about that? I had this flash come to me earlier today, one of those moments of like a voice in my head saying, I don't pursue projects because they extend the opportunity or the promise of success. I pursue projects because they're in alignment with my purpose. I had just dropped Katie and Annalise off at the airport, and of course, I think leaving my family, having that, just splitting up from them it's only under 2 weeks this time, so that feels good that time is coming to an end, or time apart is coming to an end. But that always seems to provoke questions for me about purpose, about deeper intent. And so I felt myself, and I have no idea where that voice came from, but there was a kind of this declared, almost like a principle of, I don't pursue projects because they promise success. I pursue projects because they evolve me. They are in alignment with my highest purpose. And from that intention, all success flows. Success is a byproduct of those other priorities. It is not the goal. And so then I came home and had a great session with my coach, and she, it's so amazing how this works. She basically pointed me in the direction of some books and a particular individual. I forget his name, but I'll share it. Who basically looks at soul at a sort of like soul purpose. It's a process of excavating and really clarifying, what are we here to do? What are we here on this planet? What is this lifetime about? And it was just funny how she tapped into that, because that's really the vocabulary that I've been using internally with myself. There's this sense of alignment with purpose, and especially soul purpose. I think there's kind of a life purpose, which may involve things that are outside, peripheral to the soul's purpose, but the soul's purpose really has a deep heart to it. And that's the thing that I think when I'm invested in that, it's like I just feel like a rocket taking off. I feel like my whole existence is a rocket taking off. And so obviously when that's not what I'm feeling, the question is, well, what's going on? Why not? Since we can feel that way, why don't we? And I know that for me, it comes down to there's a certain kind of creative work that I know is just it's tapping into my core creative expression, my core like complex of expressive capacities and skills I've developed, where there's just no question that it evolves me on the deepest level. It's not just skill building. I'm the kind of person who can get obsessed with skill building, and for many years of my life I have been obsessed with skill building. And skill building is great, and on one level it can be very satisfying. But what I have learned is that it can be a massive distraction. Skill building can be a massive distraction, because somebody who's interested in learning stuff, somebody who just has curiosity for learning new stuff, I can spend an entire lifetime just learning cool new stuff, never even registering what my purpose might be for being here. You know, so I've experienced that side of myself, that skill building side of myself, as a distraction, as a sort of defense mechanism, because it gives my focus and my energy and my enthusiasm a place to go, without taking that hard look at what am I really about? What's the thing that it would be worth letting go of all these cool, fun skills, which are essentially kind of like toys. They're like spiritual toys. Skill building is like playing with toys at some point. If it's not in alignment, it's toys. So, never reckoning with that question of what would be worth putting all the toys down. And getting really focused. Because again, I know that feeling. I know that feeling. That feeling is like a rocket taking off. And that's how I want to live. That's how I want to wake up in the morning. And I know that's possible. And I know when I'm in that place, I'm in a totally, I'm also serving on such a different level than if I'm pursuing success or building skills, or there's just a different vibration to me. And I'm really kind of reckoning with that. I'm reckoning with what I'm really about. You know, this post honestly is an expression of that on some level. I think there may be some development that I begin to undergo with this post, and there may be some ways that I begin to employ more intention in what I'm creating and why and for whom. But it's a really exciting place to be, and I think I'm letting myself just sit with that question for now. Even though I think I have some inklings of answers, and it has to do with teaching and leading groups, offering my perspective and you know, hopefully some supportive instruction on navigating creative life. I just know that when I've been really focused on that in the past, I bounce out of bed in the morning. It's like I can't get enough. I can't wait to dig in and do more. So you'll be hearing more about this very soon, most likely. And you're part of the journey for me, so I cannot thank you enough. I appreciate you. Love you. Thanks for watching. Have a great day. I will see you very soon.